Yo, what's going on, guys? For today's video, I wanted to talk about a few designs that I had for some old Pokemon, some Mega Evolution designs that I created. They're generally for Pokemon who have pretty much fallen out of the player's eyes in a way. They basically been forgotten. There's some old Pokemon who I feel could use a few upgrades or boosts in a way, and I figured why not give them some Mega Evolutions. So I decided that I was going to draw a few designs. I did see a couple of designs already online, so I did pick out a few ideas from here and there, but ultimately I drew them up and I figured, alright, let me go introduce these things to you guys. Alright, so the first Mega Evolution design that I wanted to show you guys is for Dewgong. Dewgong has been a pretty cool Pokemon to me. I always liked it. It was pretty cool. I don't know why they didn't really boost it up as well as it could have been boosted up. Generally, ice types aren't even really good defensive Pokemon. They only resist other ice types. Dewgong isn't really a Pokemon that stands out and doesn't really do anything particularly well. I think a Mega Evolution will be great to boost its offensive abilities. It can become a viable attacker for quick hit and run style sets. Now I wanted to go and talk about this design itself. As you can see, first of all, it has these two giant ice things protruding from its back. They're not wings, they're just kind of like little ice shards that I think kind of gives it a more cool, sleeker design. It also has a large horn. It's not just a design aspect. You could probably have a few different elemental horn attacks like Mega Horn, which is a normal type move, Horn Drill for one-hit KOs, and stuff like that. It also gets these large protruding arms coming out of its side. I think these arms will probably be a good physical attacking for it, for maybe ice punches and stuff like that. Just talking about its biology, if you look at the tail, it gets a larger tail fin. I figured, make it a strong swimmer. I also figured giving it a new ability would also help itself out. An ability such as Snow Cloak will probably be a good fit for Dewgong. It'll be able to erase its evasion in a hailstorm, which it can make good use of. You factor in its high offensive power that it will get from its Mega Boost. It could do a lot of hit and run style attacks and probably still be able to evade opponents' attacks too, so that way it'll be able to maybe last a lot longer in battle. Alright, so the next Mega Evolution design that I wanted to show you guys is something that I did for Ledian. Now, Ledian has pretty much become known as a very useless Pokemon. It really doesn't do anything special at all. It's just another Pokemon to catch in the game. There's no real uses for Ledian. It looks cool. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool that they based it off of some Japanese superhero. I forgot who it was, but the fact that they did that and then made this Pokemon so useless and so unusable was just, I didn't understand it. But I mean, I think it could use a Mega Evolution just to boost up some of its attack and maybe even its appeal eventually. I figure Ledian could also do well with a speed boost to maybe go in and do like a hit and run style combo thing. I figure a good boost would be in its speed and attack. Maybe even once it Mega Evolves, it can drop its flying typing and gain a steel typing. I figure most of its armor could turn it into some type of metallic armor. If it is based off of this superhero, I figured they're gonna have some type of superhero armor on. So I figured just like Excavalier, you could have these sharp, pointy protrusions coming out of its arms that are metal. So yeah, giving it a steel typing would probably be a benefit, be a good boost to its defensive typing. I think overall it should be one of those Pokemon that are just really fast. Maybe it could even pass down some speed stats through a baton pass or something like that while it's able to kind of last for a few turns on the battlefield. Alright, so the next Pokemon is Xatu. Xatu is already a pretty good Pokemon on its own. It has a good move pool and access to recovery moves. A Mega Boost can go into its HP and its defenses to make use of the recovery moves. It works well with the fact that Xatu is already pretty much a good hazard entry Pokemon. Now, I had this idea for a new ability for Xatu itself, which I would call something like maybe Forewarn. So what Forewarn does is when Mega Zatsu Mega evolves, it will basically foresee an attack that the opponent has, and it will be able to evade it 100% no matter what. At least the first time that that Pokemon uses that attack, just because of the fact that Mega Zatsu foresaw the attack. So for example, let's say there's a Pikachu that Mega Zatsu is battling. Once it Mega evolves into Zatsu, it will foresee an attack that that opponent Pikachu knows. Let's say it foresees Thunderbolt, but Pikachu's constantly just using Thunder over and over and over again. It'll use Thunder, it'll just miss. Let's say it'll use Thunder 2 times and it'll miss after Zatsu Mega evolves. And then Pikachu decides, alright, I'm gonna use Thunderbolt. Well, Mega Zatsu foresaw that attack with its ability when it Mega evolved. So the first time that Pikachu uses that Thunderbolt, it's gonna miss no matter what. The second time around, it'll land it, but if Mega Zatsu switches out and then comes back in, the ability will kick in again and it'll foresee another random attack. I think it goes well with the whole lore of Zatsu, being able to see into the future, so I think it'll pretty much be a cool new ability for Zatsu. Just talking about its design itself, it's based off of a, I guess, Native American totem pole, so I figured it will probably be a pretty static Pokemon in terms of it's not gonna move like a normal bird Pokemon will move by flapping its wings constantly. I figured it'll probably just hover more so than fly. That's why the wings aren't really big. They don't look like it'll support Zatsu and its body when it evolves, but I figured, yeah, being a psychic Pokemon, it could just probably hover. Alright, so the next Pokemon Mega Evolution design that I wanted to show you guys that I drew was Mega Sunflora. I think Sunflora is already a pretty cool looking Pokemon as it is. I think a Mega Evolution would just go further into its design, making it maybe a more appealing Pokemon. I think it was pretty decent in battle. I never really used it, but I figured it can use that boost to further its defensive typing. Sunflora already has a pretty good special attack stat, so a Mega Evolution I think should go into further boosting that special attack. And it can also get an attack. It can also get a boost in its speed stat. I think this can make Sunflora a pretty solid special attacker. Maybe at least get 1 or 2 good hits in before it gets knocked out. Being a plant-based Pokemon, I think it'll probably excel in Sunlight, so I figure a good ability to give Mega Sunflora would be the Leaf Guard ability. I think it'll be good for it to have some healing power in the sunlight, while at the same time the sunlight could boost its attack power. Now the design itself is pretty much a floral based design, but it also does have some elements of reptilian style. I just think it'll look cool, and if you notice in its arms it has these 2 little hard seed buds growing out of it. I figured, you know, when it goes and punches an opponent, it'll probably punch with the seed bulb instead, so that way it'll make it a much harder hit. I just think overall Sunflora would need a good solid offensive boost, so I think with a Mega Evolution it'll boost up its special attack, and some of these aesthetic designs will probably help itself with its physical attacks. Alright, so the next Mega Evolution design that I have for you guys is for Vileplume. Now this dude has been around for a while, since Generation 1, and it really hasn't done anything special in terms of competitive battling. It's kind of been one of those forgotten Pokemon. I know a lot of people who like Vileplume, they don't really use it in competitive battle, but they just like its design, so I figured, you know what, let's bring it out of the shadows. Let's give it a Mega Evolution and see if people will use it again. Now, Vileplume already has a decent typing in terms of its poison and grass typing. It gives it some good resistances, but it also does give a few weaknesses as well. Vileplume already has a pretty good attack stat, so a mega boost to its defenses can really help it out. Its ability would become Prankster. That way it can have an easier time inducing powder moves, Leech Seed, or an energy draining attack. With these things set up, a boost to its defenses can really help it come out of the shadows and become somewhat of a decent wall Pokemon. Now, just talking about its design, I think that its main design appeal is going to be that giant flower on its head. The opening in the center is going to have a couple of sharp teeth, almost like a Venus flytrap type style thing. That's going to look like maybe it's another mouth. It also will have some sharp vines coming out of its head, almost to resemble, I don't know, maybe hair strands or something. You can also probably use those as a way to attack its opponents. So yeah, those are my 5 Pokemon Mega Evolution designs. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this. I do plan on making a few other designs. Just let me know if there's any Pokemon that you want me to design a Mega Evolution for, and I'll see what I can do. Alright, thanks.